So I got 2 years older during COVID, and the 16-inch font is just not happening anymore for me. So I had to get glasses, and this is the first time I'm wearing glasses, so I'm a little embarrassed. I feel like I'm Edna E. Mode from The Incredibles. So. Darling.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So, I hope. So when I was a child, there was an encyclopedia salesman that would go around to doors and sell encyclopedias. That inspired this poem. My poem is about my Aunt Carol, who was of Scot-Irish descent. The fourth part of this poem, Queen Knot, means a lament or cry in the Northern Ireland dialect. So it's in 4 parts. Just want to make sure I have all 4. Yeah. Okay. It's called Banshee of Broken. Encyclopedias. She became broken, set of encyclopedias. H, heart ripped out of its chest of pages. Eyes incompleteness, inability to recognize faces. 1 of 2 Ks gone missing, 1 kidney. S, stroke, 3rd, slow, slurred words, or the halt of a thought in the way she was unable to form the lost word as it stopped on the tip of a broken tongue. It would just disappear. L, lungs. Once pink and full-blown peonies, now 2 black-shelled turtles, barely moving. W and M, weighty and missing pages. Action verb, walk, misplaced. Plural noun, movements, problematic. Adjective, wearisome, modifying woman being pushed in a wheelchair she couldn't manipulate with hands or feet. Arms, weather-beaten. Legs, waterlogged. Home. She, a broken home, raised by a broken father, a broken mother. Brokenness rarely skips generations. Heart. My heart is broken. Her last 5 syllabic keys played desperately into sterile air through ivory teeth. In the hospital, wasn't permitted to swallow a Last Supper on Holy Thursday, walked the high wire of an empty dream. 1 heavy tear fell, started the flood, filling the room, overtaking an arcless hospice heart, which on Easter morphine stopped. Queen Knot. To have come to this, broken or broken-hearted or a broken woman is being struck with something hard, and life is something hard that struck, and life is about being and being broken, and being broken is the dropped dinner plate of suffering, and suffering is a broken heart which has been shattered. Or is it life's misfortunes that break a woman's heart into pieces? And you cannot put her pieces back together again, and you cannot sweep them under the rug, and they will not disintegrate, and in 1,000 or 10,000 years they will still be there, and an archaeologist will discover them in her casket, and instead of ash there will be broken red clay pieces, and each exhumed piece will be studied with great care and then displayed in a glass case, and they will be identified as broken pieces of a human heart. So the indigenous moons that the Indians named, basically it was from New England on down, the indigenous moons. So, you know, like January's wolf moon and so on. Well, I've done a series of poems on moons, and I'm going to read you the cold moon, which is December's moon. And I gave voice to the moon as a feminine object. Cold moon speaks. I am the silent stabilizer. Don't underestimate my power. Without the strength of my spinning boulder, planet Earth would go crashing into the sun. My tidal lock is the main switch of the tides, keeps planet Earth from flooding, with even more devastation than Noah's time. The mainstay of my hub and I turn like a clock's well-greased gears around the bright blue living planet. Through my monocle perception, I am omnipresent. Even when out of sun's spotlight, I thrive in shadows of night, unafraid. Danny and his Irish glitzy overbearing shamrock wife, night shift's textile spinner, whose pink and black eyes froze and flashed as an albino rats in the dumpster, talked to himself like a crack addict scratch, walked through dense forest of decaying thoughts, overworked body, worn as a footpath, spent life filling and emptying shovelfuls of money into mobbed up, unpayable debts, in way over his ginger head, so deeply dug as a mole he couldn't star-nose himself out of. Adults around me tried to justify, rationalize, but does anyone really know the inner workings of another's roulette wheel mind? No matter one night with a gang of rattlesnakes fanging venomous fear as nightmare, he leapt from the edge of air. Driven body, crashed Cadillac, mind shattered windshield, headlights smashed sockets, pocketed coins rolled marbles across sliding face of Delaware River's ice, long line fall from Whitman's Bridge. Now, only reflectors sparkle red suicidal warnings through cloud-dropped mist, washed up along the Camden side, under winter willows, unraveled schemes, unspun dreams. So in 2020, I was devastated in March. Because of COVID, and I started journaling, especially the first year. Like, everyone was freaked out from about March to December, and then things seemed to get a little better in 2021. So anyway, I journaled a whole lot, and I wrote a poetic journal. It's here. It's just a chapbook put out by Moonstone Press, and I'm just going to read one from there about a neighbor of mine as a child. So. It's in memory of Tony DeCesar, who died on December 8th, 2020, from COVID-19. There's Tony. In summer of 2019, on the corner where childhood visits the old neighborhood, there's Tony. Belt pulled in tightly, baggy pants gathered as a monk's brown robe. Overwashed shirt, soft missing threads, unwoven over a Superman heart. One button of his crew neck still intact, like most of his hair still there, and parted with swooped up flare, riding high wave Elvis Presley style. Bronze stone, ember eyes, stirring, seemed a little agitated as carp swimming just below the surface. Hook me. Arched eyebrows question, like you haven't been around much in 33 years, so what you been doing, and it better be good. So I swim along a while with him, explain, smiling he approves, yet his thoughts are more caught on a setting sun. Hey, I'm 87 and just waiting for whatever it is up there to call my number. I'm ready. As we part, he crosses over from Ripka to Peachin Street. Kane's motion detector's connection to late wife Vera, who walked this way every Friday evening, the one night she didn't cook Italian. He walked city sidewalk leading to the next corner to Alex's Pizzeria, under new management, like Tony, but still existing in summer 2019. So I have two solstice poems. I'd also like to thank Bob for inviting me to read here this evening.
I love hearing it.
Sorry I didn't say that at the beginning. I was worried about my Edna E. Mode glasses. So this is a short poem, Winter Solstice. Light undresses early. Horizon's clothesline stretches, unnoticeably hanging awash, tie-dye swirls of wisteria and amethyst, against flamingo pinks and smoldering hot orange, lit as toaster coils, then periwinkles and darkening stain of sassafras berries, naked trees in poverty, air-lit silhouettes, all colors dissolve into kaleidoscopic pupil. Starlings' lost chords lift above telephone lines, bodies move orbital patterns, settle back to natural pause. Longest hours of darkness, city trembles, walks on the edge of itself. So, summer solstice is a little longer. It's in 7 parts, and it makes up the day, the longest day of the year. It's usually around June 21st. Summer solstice. Sunrise. Eye of sun blindfolded. Telephone wires insulated buzz strung out. Raindrops bead on their underbelly, connection back to distant clouds. Myriad choruses of bird songs soak through everything. Earth's petrichor emanating. Early morning. Rushing wheels of traffic hum rhythmically as well-greased gears turning time's clock of Pennsylvania's seasons. Backyard squirrel eyes me from dogwood, waving stick as a wizard's wand, casting spell to appear here. And cold daylilies zipped up tightly in transformative sleeping bags are silent as caterpillars inside chrysalises. Ravens perch guttural appeal before courts of higher power. Midday. Warmed now, flirtatious daylilies, full orange swagger, shining 6 points of glamorous faces, open appearances as one-day stars, sprouted stalks from droplets of Hera's breast milk. 3 p.m. Roses alignment with love. Brilliant cloud shapeshifter sails turn carousel, dreamy, gliding softly under cerulean blue. Goldfinch syllables mingle with alto breeze. Our eyes meet with fixed script as wind lifts body's presence, surfing stem of Balia with ease. Mixing totems, singing feathers among blossoms. Mystical burning spirits, exuberance, blooms, joy, and healing powers, as if delivering a message from the edge of the spirit world. 5 p.m. Wind, slightly abrupt patterns brush against Magnolia's swishing emerald skirt like sounds of dried sea pods rustling against each other, and Poplar's lifted skirt shows silver-lined underslip. 7 p.m. Always metallic, repetitive eeriness of ice cream trucks' overplayed tune slipping through dog catcher's net, distant sounds of childhood awash, luckily sought dog never caught. At dusk. In waves of wind, in waning light, in time's turning wheel, I believe in deepening light. Mind, a cargo of thoughts. Body's aging vessel, merely mortal. Heart's wind-swept emotions sailing, tin can soul, nothing but a lifeboat housing spirit, and by living from solstice to solstice, anchored in meditation, in dreams, in waking, in sleep, then to someday dock at death's door, walk the plank from here to there, leave body in a milkweed field, neon lanterns of fireflies, blinking dots, connecting a way back, stepping stones of stars. Thank you for being a wonderful audience, your claps and your encouragement. I can feel the good energy, and I really appreciate that, so thank you. I'm going to end with 3 or 4 blues poems, depending on time. They're short. So, this year, on March 31st, I lost my Yorkie, Lucy. She was 13, and she would have been 14 in April, and she was my everything. So, this is called Doggone Blues for Lucy. I cannot unthink you. Memories sharpen the knife of pain. I feel insane inside the walls of sadness. Inside the belly of the well, I'm swallowed down, drowning in this grief. Wish you could revisit me in dreams. Wish I could wake to the patter of your nails tapping along wooden floorboards. Wish your spirit could have climbed out of the basket of your body's deep sleep. How I wished I could have awakened you. Absence echoes. I am a wave crashing onto a jetty caught in mist. I am a lost kite sailing nowhere, in and out of this unwelcomed atmosphere. How many are dog people here? Have you ever lost a dog? Isn't it hard? It's like the worst. I cried more for my dog. I feel so guilty. I cried more for my dog than I did for my aunt. It's just terrible. I feel guilty about that, but I loved my dog.
I know where I stand.
On that note, my lover's blues. Sucked into vortex, whirlpool of pull, his multifaceted blue topaz eyes, brighter than frost-like glitter of an Arctic tundra, melting me into faraway summer burst of wildflowers dancing across vastness of fields. Believable as lilies in hell they grow, never spinning, never twirling. Not lilies really, nor cornflowers, nor sapphires, rather each one more the hue of blue sea star holly, to float me forever flower. Maybe more aquamarine quartz, to sink me as weighted gems burrowing beneath each breast, to be treasured hidden within, to believe as my inner child once did, the gold-lit pages of our family Bible, the way the essence of a Savior's eyes, undercurrent a warm reflective glow, can lovingly live within, the way my lover's blues can chisel and chip me into specks of diamond dust, slipping through an hourglass, seizing me completely. So I just have 2 more blues poems. This one's called Banishment of Blues. When hit by an unseen fender, last gasp of sparrow's breath in life's gutter of days, where I witness death's breath leave a body, I am sparrow's lingering song. In a distant porch light, spun spidery web held trophy wings of a cabbage moth circling. I am moth's freed spirit. Thin, gray, shrouded clouds slowly unraveled in each of body's underground rooms. All those inner, long-lasting, slug-moving shadows had to be exorcised. I am Saint Michael. Tortured chamber staircase turned waterfall, and a downward flow carried suffering sweepingly away, rushing purity over lost footsteps. I am waterfall. All rooms of a woman's body of lesser pains dissolved over a dozen or so years of discarding, remodeling, and chanting sacred sounds. I am mantras. Any looping, gnarled knots of recorded time, undone with candles' flames, with smoke snaking through days, with burnout ends of sage. I am ash. This January day cooperates. Snow-layered landscape, sky's banishment of blues. I am blank field, erased sky. Thank you. And my last poem is for my dad. He didn't graduate high school, nor did my mom, so I'm the first college graduate in my family, and masters and whatnot. So anyway, it's a tribute to them. But anyway, he spoke in the old Manayunk vernacular. Manayunk today is not what Manayunk was in yesteryears. Anyway, this is a poem written in his voice, and it's called Dem Dare Blues for Dad. This is my dad's voice. I reckon I'm fixin' on blues. Can't reconfigure the closed circuit wiring of my being. I walk endless blues for weeks on end. Can't pick my face off the sidewalk. Can't untangle my hair from its branches. Can't bathe my body free of Dem Dare Blues. A different kind of Midas, everything I touch, blue, blue, blue. I reckon I have to keep walking them through. There's no escaping, just have to keep walking till my aching feet outgrow my heavy blue shoe soles. Blues, 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 Dem Dare Blues. I reckon I'm fixin' on blues. Thank you.